Welcome to Texas Top Homes, where home buying, selling, and financing are all simplified. I'm your host, Freeman Sawyer, and with me as usual is the queen of closing costs, Nancy Curry. Today we have Phil Crone with the Dallas Builders Association, Ronnie Lyles with Operation Finally Home, and Donnie Evans with Altura Homes. Gentlemen, thanks for coming on the show.
Great to be here.
Thanks for having us.
Ronnie, Operation Finally Home is truly a nonprofit. Is that correct?
That's correct. We're a 501c3 nonpartisan nonprofit organization. We started back in 2005. One of the things we're proud of is that we have, through individual and corporate donations, our administrative costs taken care of. So people can rest assured that when they give us a dollar is going to be going to a project. If they donate online, it's going to the general fund. If they specify which project they want it to go to, then it will go to that project.
And I think that's a great value if you're looking to donate some money or to do something charitable, because I think a lot of charities may have gotten a little muddy with people taking a lot of big salaries and things like that. And now I know I had heard it before, but how many employees do you guys have there?
We have 12 employees,
12
over
employees.
33 states.
So you have 12 employees that obviously have some sort of a salary, right? And then you have all these projects going on. So when you said you get donations that cover all that overhead?
The majority of our donations actually come from individuals. And so it's my understanding that that's the way you want it in an organization like this.
Mm-hmm.
So for lack of a better term, you kind of have angel contributors.
Absolutely.
Right, that cover the overhead of the staff. And then really that allows every dollar that somebody out there fundraises or somebody out there donates to go to these vets and these heroes.
Absolutely. The main expense we have is salary and travel. We don't have benefits. We don't have bonuses. We cut to the bone, and the employees that we do have are in this for the right reason. We all believe in giving back to our veterans. Absolutely.
That's great. And this is a good time of the year. I don't know if you guys are on Facebook or not. I'm on Facebook. But I see a lot of guys talking about 22 veterans a day passing away right now, committing suicide, right? And so they're doing those 22 push-ups in honor of that for 22 days. So can you tell me about what the state of the veterans are? You're closer to it than I am.
Well, and you're exactly right. 22 a day. And if you stop and think about it, that's 22 too many. We've now dedicated 106 homes. If we saved one person from being one of those 22, then everything we've done is worth it. If you don't mind, I would love to quote Phil Crone. Phil says that when these young men and women come back from combat, our country should be rolling out the red carpet for them. Instead, they roll out the red tape, and they make them jump through so many hoops that so many of them just get tired and disgusted of fighting City Hall. And those are the people that we need to be finding that really, truly need help, because people like Altura, they want to help. And us finding the right recipient in the right location in a position that they need to be in, close to family, support, medical facilities, is very important.
And comfortable in their own skin.
Absolutely.
And comfortable in a home.
Mm-hmm.
These folks just want to come back and fit in. They don't want to stick out. And that's what we want to do. We want to put them in a community where they can fit in and just and transfer from the battlefront to the home front.
That's fantastic.
That's really one of the things that came home when we were talking and starting to work with Operation Finally Home, and I started to meet some of these veterans, is you realize the mental scars that you can't see are usually worse than the physical scars that you can see. And being able, I'll give you a great example, Kenny Kalish, a Marine who received our first home that we did a couple years ago. He's a AAA amputee. He was able to live in that home with his dog, who unfortunately had since passed away, and that's about where he hit a low point, because this dog that had served alongside him came in the home with him. He was a AAA amputee, and he lost his best friend and his comrade in there. But living in the home and some of the things we were able to do to allow him to be independent in that home, he wasn't always a guy that would be able to talk maybe a couple words or so when we had the microphone ahead of him. And Ronnie and I, a year or so ago, were going to do a TV segment, and we figured Kenny, it was great he was going to be there, but he's probably not going to be wanting to contribute anything. The Kenny that I saw when the home got finished compared to the Kenny that we saw a year or so after it got finished for that particular TV interview was a whole new guy. And he may well have been one of those 22, but at that point, he was there and he had a girlfriend. He was interested in acting, of all things. It would have been the last thing that I thought Kenny would have been interested in when we met him at the outset. And he was just living life to its fullest. And it was it was just such an inspiration seeing him and talking to him about his ambitions to go out to Hollywood. And I guess he was an extra in a Civil War film that they did, and he was just doing a lot of really cool things. And he had a beautiful woman on his side there and a lot of support. And I really think that home was a turning point in his life to get him there.
That's a success story.
It really is.
Ronnie, how can folks find out a little more information about Operation Finally Home? Do you have a website?
We do, operationfinallyhome.org. They can go on that. They can find out what projects we currently have underway. If someone wants to apply to receive a home, there's an application form online as well.
What about the listeners? What if they want to donate some of that money that Donnie was talking about?
If they go to our website, they can click on Help a Hero Now, and it will go into the general fund, or they can specify to a particular project where they want the money to go.